Hey guys, welcome back to Bait and Tackle. And today we're just going to do a quick video on one of the videos we did in the past here, the Pony Head Jig. So we were going to talk about how to paint those, and let me get you guys spun around here, get you down here to the workstation, and I'm going to show you what I do to paint these, because we have to cover the swivel, and we have to cover, well, really we only have to cover the swivel, but sometimes a lot of people like to cover the hook eye just to make sure that you don't get any paint in there, but I think we're just going to go ahead and cover the swivel. But I'm going to show you how I do that, how I paint them, and then I'm going to show you a cool little thing that I bought recently that we can use on this for the eyeball. Okay, so what we got to do here is I like to use some blue painter's tape. It's cheap. You don't really have to use that much. You can use little tiny pieces of it, and you can cut it with a razor blade, or you can just cut it with a pair of scissors. But for what I'm going to be doing here, I'm just going to quick cut a couple little pieces with some razor blade. But all I'm going to do here is I'm going to take the jig head and I'm just going to wrap tape around that swivel. Now you can do it real tight, you can do it real loose, really doesn't matter. But the only thing you want to try to avoid is on the very top of the swivel where it meets the lure. Right up in there, right in the top where it meets that. If you get paint in there, it will keep this thing from rolling the way you want it to roll. So we just got to be careful, got to try to get the tape up in there as tight as possible, but without covering the tip of the nose too much, because we want that to be painted, obviously. So I'm gonna demonstrate this on the second biggest one I have left. I can't remember what size that was, but I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the back side of this knife here, and I'm just gonna kind of push that tape in there just to make sure that it's back in on top of that swivel. And it may not, I may actually have to take like some side cutters here. I'm just taking some side cutters very gently, just trying to pinch the tape around that thing. Okay, that should probably do it. Okay, I see a little bit of a hole there, but I think I just folded it over. Perfect. Okay, so really what you want to do is you want to get it like that. Get it wrapped around that thing the best you can just to cover it, because we're going to dunk this whole thing into some paint. And today I'm going to use white, pearl white. We're going to turn this on. I got my fluid bed on. This is one of my tall containers, and it's already volcanoing on me here. A little bit of it came out, but all we want is just enough to fluidize that paint. It's coming up really high right now, so I'm just trying to level it out. There we go. And what I'm going to do is my normal process here. I take a pair of these forceps, okay, put it on there, clip it on, you ready to go. Then we're going to go ahead and bring it over to the heat. Let me adjust you guys so you guys can see this just a little bit better. And I bought a camera arm for over here on this workbench, so hopefully I can get you guys some better views. So again, here's the jig head. It's got the swivel covered with blue painter's tape. We're going to bring it over to the heat gun's on. The only thing you got to be careful of right here is if you got this heat gun set up too hot, it will burn that blue tape. You just got to be careful. Now some people use small pieces of shrink tubing. You could do that. You could absolutely do that. And actually some of that shrink tubing sometimes is reusable. So that's definitely a very, very good option. I myself, I can already see the blue painter's tape starting to heat up a little bit too much, starting to get a little black. But if you just put it opposite the tape, it should be all right. And if you just give a little touch, that's pretty hot. That's hot enough already. I'm going to go ahead and dip it in my paint. Okay, I'm going to dip it twice just because this paint, sometimes it just doesn't stick well. And what the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my tape off Then that way, when I go ahead and heat set the rest, then if you need to get a little bit of, if there's any extra paint on there, take it off. But if you see that right there, see it? Nice and dangling, ready to go, free spinning. And we're just going to heat this back up. That paint's all on there, nice and coated. I'm just going to heat it up real good, just to make sure it's nice and good, coated there. It looks like we're all set. So nice and coated, nice and painted, nice and clean. You know, a little bit of extra paint down here on the bottom, on the hook part. No big deal. There's going to be a bait on that anyway when you go to fish it. I'm not too much of a stickler, but if you really want to, you can clean some of that paint off. Just scrape it off. Use a pair of pliers if you want. I know I take like some small little tweaker, you know, needle nose pliers, and you can just kind of go like this back and forth, and some of that paint will just come right off. Okay, so there you have it. Painted, just a solid color. Same thing though, if you wanted to paint some different colors on there, you could do that. You could absolutely put some different color, like some chartreuse on there, maybe to beef it up a little bit if you wanted something different. But I'm going to go ahead and paint the rest of these, and then I'm going to go ahead and get them set, baked in the toaster oven that I have. Get the paint set, and then I want to show you what I do for the eyeballs, which is kind of cool. All right, baking them. Got 4 in there. Baking them for 20 minutes on 350. Let those do their thing, and then we'll come back and take them out. Okay, so we got our jig heads painted. That's how they came out. Just wanted to show you that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this marker that I got off of Amazon. Yeah, you can probably see it that way. It's a chrome paint marker, so it makes like a mirror finish. I got a 3-pack of these on Amazon. I can't remember how much it was, but I will put it in the description, the link on the description down below. But what I'd like to do is take this paint marker and paint silver on the mounds for the eyes, just to give it a little bit of added effect, like that. See it? Gives a nice little chrome finish, gives you a little flashy eye kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do that on the other 3 that are sitting here, but I'm going to try to keep them off the ground. So I'm going to get another stand that's not so hot, and I'm going to put them on that after I paint the eyes on them. So there's a little tiny one. Eye. And the last thing we need to do is put the blades on. So I'm going to go ahead and do the eyeballs on these other 2. Wow, this one's so tiny. So look at that. It's like the size of my thumb. But this one's so tiny. I'm just going to put a little bit of paint on that little tiny bump out for the eyes. I guess that's the only thing that I could say that I don't like about the mold so far is the eyes that are bumped out. It'd be really cool if there was some way that they could put some kind of adhesive eyes on those. It'd be a very, very neat process if they'd be able to do that. But I know this mold's been around for a long time, so they're probably not gonna change anything on it now. And you know, why change something when it works real well? Anyway, so I'm just gonna finish up this last eye here. There you go. So 4 Pony Head Jigs, chrome eyes, just pearl white. I usually like to use whites a lot. Like I said, you could use any colors really to do any of these. So here is a tiny little, I think size 0 or size 1 blade on a split ring ready to go for one of them. And I think I had some split rings sitting here to put on the other ones. If I'm not mistaken, I will have to see if I can find them. Those are clevises. But I know I've got some more of these. They're size 1s. We may use some different size blades. Here's some size 0s. I think that's what that is. Yeah, that's a size 0. So probably a size 0 on that. Probably a size 0 on that one. And then let's go a little bit bigger on this other one. Maybe like a 1 on this guy. See if that kind of is copacetic. Yeah, 1 on that guy. Probably even a 1 or a 2. We'll just do a 1 on that guy too. That's not the biggest one that I have. So really on that mold, I'd say sizes 0, 1, and 2 would probably be preferable for all those. Now I just need to find some split rings, which I know I had laying here. I just got to find them. I think I had a pack of them or something from somewhere. I've got these VMC ones that are a little bit big to use, but I know I had some kicking around somewhere. So let me pause this. Oh, there they are. I found them. Almost lost one. So these are size 1. You could probably go a little smaller, but it'd be real tough to put those on. But again, if you're into making tiny baits, this is definitely a must to get the smaller hardware to match it. So one of them already has one on there, so I'm good there. I just need 3. So now is the tedious process of taking some split ring pliers and trying to put these blades on these. Well, you also have to keep in mind that you're going to have to put them on the bait itself, the actual pony head. So get this on here. It doesn't want to cooperate because it's being a turd. Because really all you do need to do is get the blade stuck in between. There we go. Then you can try to use some split ring pliers, but it's kind of tough. I'm used to using split ring pliers on some split rings that are already on some bearings swivels for underspins. Those are already pre-made, put together. A lot easier to do it that way than trying to build everything yourself. Okay, so there's one. And I got to do 2 more of those. Then we can finish this up, put these together. So let's get these last 2 put together. And like I said, this is very tedious. It's not really too time consuming, but it's just tough to get these tiny little split rings. I think anything smaller than this size right here is going to be a pain in the butt. So, but trying to get that. It may be better just to put it on the bait. So let's actually take one of the baits off. That marker should be dried by now. Let's see if we can get it started. Because if we can get it on the bait, the jig head first, which is what I typically do, is put it on the jig head first. Then you can try to slip the blade in between the split ring pieces, and it works a lot better, in my opinion. But I do love this style of a bait. Any type of underspin is right up my alley. Super glad that I got this mold. And again, another way for me to show you these molds, and I've got some. I think I'm going to have another mold here coming for you down the pike. I've got the lure body mold to make inline spinners, so I'm going to go through but I think I need to get some smaller wire for those. All right, so we got the split ring on there. Now it's going to be getting the small blade on there, which sometimes you can just take the blade, as long as you can find that open part in that split. And if you can take the blade and split the ring itself with the blade, that's a lot easier. See, this is what I'm used to doing with when I'm making underspins. So if you can do that, then you can work the blade around and get it on the split ring all the way. There it is. Okay, so we have the tiniest one completed with a 0 size blade, willow blade, and a number 1 split ring. And that will just spin on that little tiny bearing right there. It'll just spin on that bearing. And I know they're free spinning because I checked them all to make sure that they were good to go. That will be excellent. That is tiny. Let me go get the mold too, because I want to kind of tell you guys what the sizes are here, because these are so tiny. I want to say it's 132, but I could be wrong. It could be a 1/16. Let me see. I've got the mold here. It is a 132. So bring this back over here just for reference. We have a 132, which is the smallest one they make. Then we have a 1/16, which I believe is this one. Okay. Then we have the 1/8. Then we have the 1/4, and then the 3/8 I have out in my truck because I actually made one to bring with me. So let's get some blades on these, and we'll come back. I'll show you exactly what we got with all of them, just so you can see them, and I'll lay them out in the mold just like they are right now, right here, and I'll show you. All right, so I think we're ready to go. We're all set. The one thing I'm going to mention is there's all of them right there setting in the mold. Now that chrome marker, I've noticed that when I touch it after a little bit, it comes right off. So it may be helpful to seal in those with maybe some UV clear coat, UV resin clear coat or something, or possibly to put some kind of a do it clear. I know they sell like a clear epoxy powder that you can put over top of it, and that may help it seal it in too. Or as in my case, I'm just going to wait and see how long it takes to dry for those things to actually dry. It may just rub right off. I don't know. I'm going to play around with that though. I'll let you guys know. But anyway, there's a lineup of those. Like I said, nice little spinners that come out great. Underspins, they're little Pony Head Jigs, they call them. Awesome for panfish. I'm so excited. Pretty easy to paint, not too bad, as long as you cover up those swivels, like I said. The other thing too is that you'll need to pick up some of these willow blades, and you can get whatever you want. But I got these from Barlow's. I do have a code for Barlow's that helps you support the channel. If you guys keep buying stuff from Barlow's, I buy more molds, buy more paint colors, I buy more things that I can show you guys on the channel. You do not get a discount. Let me just be clear about that. You do not get a discount. It just helps support me and what I'm doing to show y'all what I can do and what other products are out there that you can use for lure making. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I really just wanted to get these done so that you could paint them and see how the painting process was to cover up that swivel and to make a nice little clean jig. Well, that's going to wrap it up for today's video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed that. Like I said, it's just me making some pony head jigs again, just painting them so you could see the painting process, the epoxy powder paint, dipping them, covering up that bearing just so that you guys understand that, so you knew what you could do to keep making sure that this stays free spinning and everything moves correctly the way it's supposed to. We are getting up there in subscribers. We get to 2,500. I think I'm going to do another big giveaway. I'm really excited. You guys are just killing it. You guys keep subscribing. I really appreciate all the love, appreciate all the support. Please comment down below. Is there anything you guys want to see next? I've got other lead molds. I've got soft plastic molds. I think I might do some soft plastic molds next. I'm not sure. I've also got another project I'm working on that I'm hoping to show you guys soon. And as always, remember, keep on baiting.